Good evening. Good evening. This is about 7:24 p.m. here in the great state of Texas. This is Funton Daniel. It is absolutely disturbing. I am bringing these informations about the intentionally of the Gendarmerie Brigade, La Republique, military or branch called the Gendarmerie. They intentionally went to Alatekoh in Mankon today, the 4th of December. Young male were taken from their homes and shot dead in front of their family. This is a continued brutality that is being perpetrated by the neighboring country, La Republique du Cameroun, in Southern Cameroon territory. I am bringing this continued attention to the United States government, to the Undersecretary for African Affairs, and the U.S. Department of Defense, the State Department, and the U.S. Congress and the President of the United States, that despite the serious warning that the United States has given to La Republique du Cameroun, they haven't yielded to those warnings and they still carry on the perpetrations in Southern Cameroon territory. Imagine that the young children that were in their home with their mother and children and were sitting, gathering, and watching, probably speaking their normal routine stories. But out of unfortunately, the National Gendarmerie of French origin break into their homes, taking the boys outside and shot them in front of their parents. This is a continual brutality that is continued perpetrated by La Republique du Cameroun in Southern Cameroon territory. Despite the warning that has issued by the United States, despite the warning that have issued by other branches of the United States government, and asked La Republique to restrain itself in the Southern Cameroon territory. Above all, release all the Southern Cameroon Ambazonian citizens that are being held without bail in La Republique du Cameroun. It is absolutely, and I also want to take this opportunity to bring the attention that as we may stay silent, there is continued citizens of Southern Cameroon that are being picked up and sentenced in absentia, sentenced to life imprisonment, sentenced to 20 years, 15 years. One was sentenced today, but I will be bringing his detail about him in a subsequent news program. But however, I want to bring the attention that Southern Cameroon, that as we sit quiet, there is ongoing sentencing that is carried on by the Yaoundé military court in the absence of lawyers, in the absence of representatives, in the absence of family members, and they continue sentencing them with life prison without parole. And this is what is being carried on by La Republique du Cameroun. And so therefore I am using this opportunity to bring the attention of the United States government and the U.S. Department of Defense, Congress, and the U.S. Embassy in the neighboring country, La Republique du Cameroun. Another problems that I want to bring in again, I want to emphasize on the issues of the so-called Cameroon airline incidents. I am not here to argue on the point. United States has the capability to bring the images and who there are certain United States Department of Defense military equipment and capability that can use satellite images and bring to light exactly what happened in the Cameroon airline that was shot in Bafut, the abandoned airport in Bafut. But one question that one will ask, why is it now that La Republique is so interested of carry on flight in Southern Cameroon? When that airport was initially constructed, there was a mini airline flight that was being used, but was crumbled and abandoned and frustrated because of the policy of La Republique preventing from it to operation. Why is it now that it's so essential that La Republique thinks that the airport should be put operation? Why the purpose of this of La Republique has been looking for the ways in which United Nations increasingly interested in Southern Cameroon and to revisit what went wrong and why is it that has brought attention out of it suddenly. And they realized that they had some mistakes that they have made and on part of the British government by fail deliberately ignore the third options, whether should the Southern Cameroon opt for an independence, which was not brought into topic by the British representatives. They deliberately and frustrate the people of Southern Cameroon and choose what they think deemed necessary for the people of Southern Cameroon. And that is what has brought this crisis. So now the United Nations is interested to know exactly what went wrong. So the first attempt landing in Tiko prompted La Republique immediately and looking for ways that they can stop or close the airport apparently. But unfortunately, and the only option available is to use the Cameroon airline that they will have their Gendarmerie or the BIR station in Bafut Airport to attempt to shut the airport, to shut the plane, so they can take that as an opportunity to close down the airport. In doing so, they have legitimate reasons. But the question is, why is it now that they're so interested in the airport? Why is it now that the flight, how many flights have they been traveling to Northwest, except those that have been used for military purpose? So, in order to close the airport completely and prevent the United Nations from landing in Bafut, so the solution was to bring a passenger airplane so that the Gendarmerie can attempt to shut it so they can have opportunity, indicate that it was an Ambazonian, so that they can close the airport and prevent United Nations members from landing in the Bafut airport and expand their concentration in Southern Cameroon territory. That was the purpose of La Republique du Cameroun through the governor of Northwest and some other quartier general meeting that was held in planning session. So that is how this problem erupted. So with respect to the Southern Cameroon Ambazonia, the United Nations is looking forward to expand its humanitarian and continue research on the issues of Southern Cameroon. But in light of this, I want to bring the attention that the United States government has the capability using satellite images that could bring color images of exactly who and what and who did what in that location and that particular day. And that images can be bring down by the U.S. government, the CIA, and the U.S. Air Force that's in charge of there's a particular name they have for that is specialized in those areas. So United States has that capability, and they can be able to identify who and who at what time and who shot what, and those images through satellite. So therefore, United States is not. So people shouldn't assume false assumptions, but people should believe in reality. This is Funton Daniel speaking live here from the great state of Texas, bringing this reality. Thank you and have a wonderful day.